Hey there! A new patch is here and with it lots of changes to the game. I won't be going through the patch notes since there's a couple of things missing in them and some of the changes aren't really worth covering. I'll start with the more important adjustments and give you a bullet point list of the smaller changes at the end of the video. So one of the larger adjustments was the rework of the reward system. They have removed all the particle pills from the campaign stages and added an achievement system to compensate this loss. Most of the achievements are retroactive and take into account your progress before the system was added. Now, while the rewards from the achievements are potentially larger than the particle pills that were taken away from the campaign, you won't be having access to them for a long time. A lot of the achievements will take months to complete, and compared to how easily accessed the rewards from completing the campaign were, this change ultimately reduces the amount of pulls that players will have at the start of the game. Now, before I'll give you my take, I think it's also worth mentioning the nerfs to the Battle Pass. Now, while the resource cards that you get from leveling the pass were nerfed, the more impactful nerf was actually to the weekly task rewards. We used to receive 200 diamonds for every weekly task, now it's only 25. Since most people use diamonds for additional summons, this change takes away about 5 to 6 pulls every week. So what do I think? Well, I do like the achievement system in theory. Having long-term tasks that you can grind and keep track of is definitely a welcome addition, but the amount of summons that they are cutting is concerning. I am especially worried about the new player experience. We are already receiving less and less pulls every week with the Battle Pass nerf and the lowered amount of diamonds from the Neutron Star, and now on top of that, the new players will get significantly less summons at the start of the game. If we pair that with the changes from 4 weeks ago that adjusted the speed of leveling, making it easier to hit level 100 and harder to level past it, I feel like a lot of new players will hit a very steep wall in the campaign, progressing very slowly all of a sudden and being starved for resources. Definitely make sure to tell me down in the comments how you feel about these adjustments. Maybe I'm just blowing this out of proportion. So the second largest change is something that is actually not listed in the patch notes, and those are the changes to the stats of 1 and 2 star leapers. While they have buffed them in previous patches, I didn't think it was enough to make an impact. But this time the buffs are large enough that I really think this might shift the metagame. The stats are still not equal between different rarities, but they are close enough that a lot of 1 and 2 stars will hopefully have a chance to become viable. This change should open up a lot of options, so I'm all for it. That said, I'm really hoping they'll just equalize all the stats across the board in some future update. The next pretty big change is to the Neutron Star. Sadly, it is still daily, but they have significantly reduced the difficulty. Now, I personally never had problems when it came to the difficulty, but I always heard a lot of feedback of people struggling with this game mode. I am very curious about your opinions how the Neutron Star plays right now, so make sure to share them down in the comments. For me, the game mode is far too easy now, and there is no decision making involved, just pressing buttons to go to the next encounter. It's also worth mentioning that they've adjusted the discs that you were collecting along the way. The buffs are in general more powerful, but also more interesting, I would say. I'm glad they keep balancing this aspect of Neutron Star, but the inconsistent difficulty across different players still remains a problem. Maybe they should add a difficulty setting. So I already briefly mentioned the new Battle Pass. With it, to my surprise, came a new unit, Westywood. Everyone was expecting Money to be the new Battle Pass unit, but we got a brand new Leaper instead. I won't lie, this makes it a little bit awkward, since a lot of soft launch players do have Money, and she is a very powerful unit. Well, it is what it is, but let's take a look at Westywood. My initial impressions of her are that she seems to be very strong. She's an Earth Ranger, and her unique gimmick is that her basic attacks do less damage, but additionally attack targets in a small area of effect. Now, unlike Fi, her AoE basic attacks can crit, and she seems to work very well with Jade, additionally increasing Jade's attack speed buff. I'm curious to see if she ends up being overpowered. I'm having a very hard time imagining her being weak. Those were the main changes of the patch. Now I'll go through the minor changes that are worth mentioning. We got 2 new chapters for the Leaper's Odyssey. 22 particle pills and a bunch of resources are waiting to be unlocked, so have fun. There are new profile pictures and new name cards to choose from. Additionally, unlocking Phase 2 and Phase 3 of a Leaper will unlock corresponding avatars and name cards. The bug with low drop rates in the last gear array stages has been apparently fixed, so farming those stages should be beneficial now. Doranana has been made a 3-star Leaper, and the rewards of the beginner event have been adjusted to also give 20 fusion cores. Additional journey tickets that you can buy for arena currency have been limited to 3 per week. You used to be able to buy 1 every day. Each Leaper in the game has now a 5% base crit chance, which in general is a decent buff to the crit stat itself. And lastly, a new event is coming on 6th of October, coming with new units and probably a bunch of rewards to be claimed. I will cover it in more detail once it releases though. Alright, those were the most important changes that came with the update. A lot of good adjustments, but I have really mixed feelings on the new reward system. Fingers crossed that they will keep adjusting it. Thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, consider dropping a like and subscribing to the channel. Other than that, I hope you have a great day and I'll see you next time. Bye!